Good morning or afternoon, depending on where you're checking in from. Today, this is Sharon, and this is what's happening in my studio today. So, I have my traveler's notebook, and I'd been working on a spread from Kentucky, Louisville, whatever way you say it. So here is how it started. I went to Louisville in March of 2025. So with this, I was looking to use paper from this book. I don't even know if anybody has seen this before. I asked for this, or I put it on my list for Mother's Day, and I actually received 2 of these flow paper books. I found them to be very challenging to use in my spreads just because they are full of not images, but the backgrounds are very busy. So that being said, I was really challenging myself to use it, especially because I had put it on my list. And so this was my first spread. I used these backgrounds, I used these letters that were in there, and then I added gold leafing for the letters and beads for here. And I was sort of going with the idea of where they would be like going to the Kentucky Derby and wearing big hats. I didn't really find anything with super big hats on them, so then I added some bling. This is clear beading, tiny little clear beading, and obviously that's gold. So then my second page was about the hotel that we stayed at. This is the Omni in Louisville. This was my favorite place to hang out at. It's called the Library Bar, and they had the painted horses there out front. They also, in many places, had painted horses. I know other places, we lost something there. Other places have different things like birds, and I saw one the other day. It was, what was it, a pig or something? Anyways, one of the restaurants we went to was called Guacamole. I love me some great authentic Mexican food. It was amazing, and I got this drink. It came up and it was bubbling and smoking. Like I must have not read the menu because it was a surprise, and it was a great surprise, and I had a lot of fun with it. I love extra stuff when adding to the atmosphere. They had a mariachi band that was playing for a couple there. That was really sweet. So then after doing that, again, I'm still using the flow paper background. I'm sure you're familiar with this Dynamos. This is an original Dynamo that I bought many years ago, and really haven't used it very much recently. But I did buy some more pastel colors for it on Amazon and use that to add wording. So the next thing I did, again, I'm still trying to work out of that flow book. They had these, I think they were supposed to be like seed packets things. I cut the edges off. I had some extra pictures of restaurants we'd been to. We went to a Cuban restaurant. This one was poured, shucked and pulled. Bacros, maybe there are people from Louisville that know that place. It was excellent. It was absolutely amazing. And then we went to a cafe. So then I was thinking I was all done, right? So I'm creating my final page. This part was in the flow book. Can't wait to see you again. So I thought I would add Kentucky. Can't wait to see you again. Lift here. And I really had wanted to put a horse in, but I found nothing in the things that I had to do. So then I had a horse from a This is a brochure from Chincoteague. Put that in there and added washi. Done, right? Ready to move on to the next page. Not exactly. So when I came up this morning, I looked over to my little bowl of photos here and realized I had not finished. I actually missed like the whole point of the trip, and that was going to the event. So this is Robert Luogo. He's a wonderful ceramic artist with a great and amazing story. If there are any art teachers out there, you might recognize Cassie Stevens. She's pretty famous with art teachers. And this was one of the keynotes, the Gorilla Girls, very motivating. And this was one of her screenshots, or from the screen. So that's what I need to do today. But problem is, I have done a final page here. So now I need to do a tip-in. So if you're not familiar with what a tip-in is you're going to be adding a page before. Obviously, it wouldn't make sense if I put it afterwards because I've done the final page. So I need to add something here. So I've gathered some things. I've sort of thought through what I want to do. I'm not going to go from the flow book just because I wanted to make my life a little easier. That is very challenging to do if anybody's up for a challenge. So what I've done is I've looked through my scrapbook paper, 12 by 12 paper, and what I'm thinking is I want to stay, I looked at these photos here, if you want to know my process. I looked at these photos here, and I felt like the overall color was blue. So I know I wanted something in blue. These are darker backgrounds, sort of have a black background. So originally I was thinking, well, I would do something like this. This is nice weight cardstock, 12 by 12. That's great because it does need a little something to hold on to. But then I felt like, well, this is kind of light with that. So then I went through and found something else. By the way, this is the normal state of my desk. Normal state. I am a messy artist. Maybe some of you can relate, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. So I was thinking I was going to do this blue, or this black and blue. Maybe even like this. Again, it's busy. It's busy, but I'm not thinking that. I want to make sure that that bird's beak doesn't get cut off, though, when I do it. I'm thinking, though, that it should work because it's not all over. We'll see. All right, so this is actually very thin paper. That won't work. Well, for me, it won't work. I mean, this is thin, too. I guess it could work. Yeah. So what I was also thinking is, what is it going to look like on the other side? I may have to add something because that page, now that I'm thinking through the process, that page is going to be blank. Yeah. Either way, it's going to be blank. Either way, I'm going to have to do something to it. Ooh, I cut that. Didn't realize that. So, yeah. Hadn't thought about that. The opposite side of the paper is going to be blank. It's going to be this, because that was my thought. I'm going to glue this to this. All right. Now that I'm thinking through this, maybe I can double this up. Maybe I can double this up. And then the opposite side is going to be that. yeah, I can glue those two together, and then it's kind of that weight. I might just end up doing that because then it's the same. Then I need to find something to decorate the other side. All right, so I'm going to work on this. So here's my plan then. I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to trim this to size. I'll basically be folding this over, marking out where I need to cut it, gluing these two papers together, and then I'll show you the tip-in part of it. All right? All right. Here we go. I'll be back. So this is where I'm at so far. I took that scrapbook paper that I showed you earlier, measured it out, marked it, cut it, glued the two pages together. Then I took these two photos and I used the glue tape to glue them down. I punched out with the Dymo, Gorilla Girls, and Truth. So now I'm working on that back page, which, as I told you, I hadn't realized I was going to need to do. So I saved my two other photos for that, which kind of worked out. I think I might be using some of the leftover scraps to add a little bit of the leafing or floral kind of thing to it so it matches the other side. But where did I put the photos? Probably, yeah, they are. So I have these two photos. So I'm holding my little girl here who has, say hi, Clara. Well, you can only see her head. Hi. All right. So I'm holding her, so I'm one-handed because she wanted to come and visit. So I have these two here that I honestly felt like they needed a little bit more explanation. So I pulled out one of these stamps. I've never used this stamp. And I thought maybe what I would do is stamp it onto this. This is like the paper they put in for wrapping or stuffing when you get a package. I thought I would do it on here because that would sort of match the craft paper that the book is made out of. So I've put it on a block. I'm going to use some StazOn black ink, I believe, black ink, and then I'll probably rip around it. I haven't completely decided yet. Give it a torn edge, and then I'll write something. Haven't figured that part out either. So I just kind of wanted to show you where I was at. And then we will meet back here when I have figured out the rest.